there is a very, very big story that needs to be told. It's been buried for 136 years. In fact, for 136 years, the faith of Hindus was questioned and their holiest place of worship denied to them. Last year, on the 9th of November, the highest court of our land, the Supreme Court, decisively ruled in favor of facts and faith by allowing Hindus to build a Ram temple on the Ram Janambhoomi site. In fact, rebuild their temple. While the Prime Minister called for restraint in the celebrations, a lobby of pseudo-secularists and leftist intellectuals questioned the Supreme Court's wisdom, accusing it of siding with Hindus and being seduced, in their words, by Hindutva. So they cast assertions right upon the judiciary. It was a naked attempt at poisoning Muslim minds to make them think that they will never get justice in a Hindu majority India. Now, first you listen to the manner in which they venomously reacted and targeted the Supreme Court and insinuated that the Supreme Court was part of some massive exercise to deny Muslims and favor Hindus. Listen to this, viewers.
हम इस जजमेंट से सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हैं, मेरा भी मौक़िफ़ वही है और मेरा मानना यह है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट सुप्रीम ज़रूर है मगर इनफेलेबल नहीं है। मेरी ज़ाती राय यह है कि हमको 5 एकड़ के इस ऑफ़र को रिजेक्ट करना चाहिए। आज का फैसला फेथ की विक्ट्री फैक्ट के ऊपर हुई है।
Most of the Muslim organizations are saying that it shouldn't be done. Whatever it is, how are we going to benefit out of the review?
The benefit is the Muslim case will be on record before the Supreme Court. At present, there are newspaper reports on whether it is good or bad, whether it is peace or justice. I think that those who approach the Supreme Court are entitled to put on record their discomfiture with the case and the judgment.
But the argument also is that it will not bring them the mosque back or the land back. It will still again bring the atmosphere of the country bad. How do you see that as an argument?
The Muslims have never been responsible for disturbing the atmosphere of the country. The entire disturbance has come from the Hindus.
Apart from that, so one more thing, there is this land that should be given to the Muslims, 5 acres of land. Now the other argument is that whether the land that is being given should be given within the disputed land, not something from the outside. How do you see that, sir?
The land should not be given. The land should not be accepted.
There you heard it, viewers. There you heard it. Two voices suggesting that the Supreme Court did a grave injustice. But today, viewers, news broke that while digging the foundations for the construction of a Ram Mandir, the individuals who are entrusted now with building the Ram Mandir found a 5-foot Shivling, 7 pillars from temple remains. More than this, Hindu relics like deities, idols, and Pushp Kalash were also found. There you can see the pictures. They're very visible. This is what was excavated. The findings were not surprising, since 2 separate excavations of the site in the past too concluded that there was clear evidence of a massive Hindu structure below the masjid. Now, viewers, all of this taken together makes us ask some basic questions, questions that can no longer, in fact, be avoided. Because what it does is, it makes one wonder about these leftist intellectuals and these pseudo-secularists. Do the discoveries, for example, made after the excavations at Ayodhya prove that a lobby of vested interests has been working to discredit the Hindu claim for 150 years? Let me ask that question. Dr. Anand Ranganathan is here with us. I want to begin with you, Dr. Anand Ranganathan. How do you see this, first of all?
Good evening, Rahul. You know, these findings not only reveal to us the glorious remnants of an ancient Hindu civilization, but they also reveal something deeper, something philosophical, which is that nations weaken not because of their past, but rather by how they are taught it. For 70 years, we have been taught history that has been airbrushed for convenience, in which multiple genocides have either been cushioned or totally ignored. and the monsters who perpetrated them made heroes. The murder and conversion of millions of Hindus, the destruction of thousands of temples, the desecration of a way of life from Kashmir to Vijayanagar. The list is endless. We are a people not aware of our own painful history, and therefore we are constantly searching for answers, forever drowning in ridicule and self-loathing, feeling inferior, weakened, and therefore prone to division. Ram Janam Bhoomi is a prime example. The same left that condemns barbarians of the West hitherto worshipped, like Confederacy generals Rhodes, Churchill, Pizarro, Murray, this same left eulogizes barbarians of India, like Tipu, Aurangzeb, Babur. It is a heady mix of hatred for Hinduism and love for jihadism, hatred for India and love for its breakup. One must read the Supreme Court and the Allahabad High Court Ayodhya judgment to really understand this. Please give me 30 seconds. Leftist historians like Habib and Verma and Menon spread so many lies that the court had to step in to blast them for their perfidy and mediocrity. These guys said that the 50 excavated temple pillars were placed there. They said the Vishnu Hari inscription was stolen from Lucknow Museum and brought there. They said there was a Buddhist temple there. There was a Jain temple there. There was a mosque there. But that there was no Hindu temple underneath the dome. Ultimately, all their lies came to nothing as the court rejected all their claims and accepted that there indeed was a temple underneath the dome and that the dome did not have a foundation but was raised on existing walls. I ask you, Rahul, who benefits from such lies? There is an idea of divided India, and this idea is a tattoo. It can never be removed. It's a scar. It can only be exposed.
You know, laughing like hyenas, mocking and jeering. No. One second. First of all, lower their faders. I'm not going to get into this shouting match. Listen, Sharafuddin, Mr. Sharafuddin, please. Either you follow the rules of engagement on this debate, or you can go. You understand? Stop shouting here. I don't like it. This is a very sensitive issue. You have a problem. You got an attention disorder. You want to provoke. You want to anger people. You can do it on some other platform. But Mr. Sharafuddin, stop it. Stop it. I want to come out to Vivek Srivastav. Vivek Srivastav, you represent the left parties. Yes. Would it be fair, as Dr. Anand Ranganathan has said, to say that a lobby of vested interests has been working to discredit the Hindu claim for 150 years, so that eventually you sow the seeds of suspicion between two communities to the point today where even though there is scientific evidence staring us in the face, there are certain individuals like the Sharafuddins of the world who don't believe it.
Right.
Are you responsible for this?
Yeah. So now
Vivek Srivastava.
Yeah. First of all, see, we follow what Marx said, that religion is the opium of the masses. And ultimately, when you drag religion into political life and social life of a nation, it's only communal divide, communal violence, fights, and a lack of development. So we do not follow or promote any particular religion. We are as much against the Islamic terrorists as we are against the Hindu fanatics represented by the RSS, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and the Bajrang Dal. This nation needs to follow its secular ethos and constitution. That is what we stand for.
Okay.
And now regarding what Dr. Anand Ranganathan said, he doesn't understand what the left is. I think he needs to go and read Marx first. He talked of conversion. He should know why conversions take place. They take place because the Hindu religion,
You know what
the
Reagan
Hindu
said.
community is divided.
Let him finish.
Who are the communists?
Dr. Anand
Let him finish.
Ranganathan, please do not interfere.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
The Hindus, we are a dividing lot.
Yeah, sorry.
The Dalits,
Sorry.
the backwards,
I apologize.
the OBCs
My communist friend,
were
please go.
exploited for centuries.
Okay.
And that is the reason why conversions take place.
Okay.
Do not
So-
try to say that it is all force and everybody is converting under force. That is the wrong
So,
thing.
Mr. Srivastava, are you
Let's
prepared
try
for
to
a
reform-
counter question?
reform our own lot.
Are you prepared for a counter question? Can I ask you a counter question?
Sure.
Now, you said that we should not drag religion
Absolutely.
into the public domain.
Yes.
So why were left intellectuals, the left
Yeah.
parties,
Yes.
other leftist-oriented parties like the Congress,
Yes.
why was Mr. Owaisi
Yes.
suggesting that the Supreme Court was led by faith and not facts?
Okay.
Why
See,
are
first
they
of all-
suggesting, one second, I haven't finished my
Yeah,
question.
okay.
Why are they trying to impute a religious motive to the verdict? Why were they suggesting that the judges, by the way, sir, the judges, including Muslim judges,
Yes.
also
Yes.
were led
Yes.
by the call of the majoritarian faith in other words, the voice of Ram Lalla,
Yes.
to favor the Hindus. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, sure. Now
You can't use religion
Absolutely.
to target
I
the
agree.
judiciary
Yes.
and then sit here and lecture.
Yeah. Now let me respond, please. First of all, Owaisi, I do not know how you call Owaisi a leftist. And you need to know and define what the left parties are. That is the first point. Second point, the left always said, we follow, we respect, and we will abide with what the courts of the nation say.
One
Okay, that is
second,
very
I
clear.
asked you a very specific
However,
question, Mr. Srivastava.
yes,
You
yes,
made it
let
about
me respond.
religion by
Let me
imputing
respond to that.
motives.
Rahul,
No, 1 minute. You made it
can
about
I
religion
respond
by
to
imputing
my
motives of the
Yes, let me
Supreme Court
respond.
justices saying
In a
that
secular
they were
country-
calling. No, they were following the call of the
Rahul,
faith.
this country will
Listen to
remain
me,
secular.
and in this case, the majority faith.
No, let
So
me
you
speak.
brought in religion.
No,
Then
we
you are
did not.
giving us a lecture
In a
about how
democratic,
pernicious
secular country,
religion is
Rahul,
when it's brought
in a
into the public
democratic,
domain.
secular
So you're a
country-
hypocrite, Mr.
And you're not letting me
Srivastava,
speak,
and
man.
today
You're not letting me speak.
I don't see why
You are
action
not
should
letting
not
me
be
respond.
taken against the likes of you and
Rahul,
others
can I-
on the grounds
In a
of trying to
secular
mislead a
nation,
community
only if the
and
minorities are
divide
defended
India
and protected,
along religious
the
lines and
Constitution is
polarize it.
protected.
Okay, wait,
That is what
relax.
it is. And it is not hypocrisy.
Okay, it's not hypocrisy.
Only when
So
the
when
minorities of the nation will be
on national
protected,
TV contradict
the secularism
yourself
of this
within
nation will
30
be
seconds,
protected.
it's not
So the
hypocrisy.
left parties will stand with the
Okay.
minorities and their rights.
Right. I understand
will
that.
not
I
let
understand that. I
India
can see that, sir.
and
I can also
majority
see that you have taken to defending
exploit the Muslims
radical
and the minorities
Islamists
of the nation.
in the state of Kerala to the point now where conversions are actually happening in homes.
We will not
In homes.
allow
But the people who are
majority
afflicted by them
fanaticism
get
and
the support of the state and the
parties
machinery of the state. We have seen those
representing the
cases.
majority
Nonetheless,
to exploit the
hold your
state.
thoughts. Let me open this out. Dr. Ranganathan wants to quickly rebut, and I want to bring in Nalin Kohli, Ratan Sharda also. Yes. Doctor.
Yeah, Rahul, very quickly to my good comrade Vivek, as Ronald Reagan said, who are the communists? Those who read Marx and Lenin. Who are the anti-communists? Those who understand Marx and Lenin. So I have not only read Marx, I have understood him as well. It's a pity that Vivek has only read Marx. And point number 2, let me challenge him right now before I come to the main thrust of my thesis. Vivek, do you have the guts to say this and say this, that Islam is an opium? Say it, go on, I challenge you.
I
Himmat hai
said
to bolo.
religion is an opium.
Bolo.
By Islam, we believe religion should not be in the political life.
Bolo.
You want to follow
So
it in your
Islam is
personal
not
life,
religion.
You do it. You want to follow it in your personal life.
So
you are most
Islam is
welcome.
not religion.
Elections should not
Daro
be fought
mat.
on the basis of religion.
Arey comrade
And
ho to
the
darte
BJP,
kyon?
the RSS, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad.
Now
they
look
represent
at
the
this,
religion.
Rahul.
They
He's been
represent-
exposed.
Sorry, sir.
But let
I
me tell
said
you,
religion
Vivek,
is
now
the
please,
Exposed
I do
three
not
times
interrupt you.
in 5 minutes.
Please listen to me. This whole
talking about
judgment,
religion.
Rahul,
Yes.
let me expose him 4th time. Rahul, this judgment has got nothing to do with religion. Nothing. The only friend of justice is evidence. And evidence it was that prevailed. You may
Sir,
point to a
you
multitude of
destroyed
factors
the
that led the
mosque.
Supreme Court to its Ayodhya
you
verdict. But in my
destroyed the
opinion,
mosque
had there been no
against the
ASI
Indian
report of...
Constitution
Now
and
please
its
don't
values in
interrupt.
1992.
Had there been no ASI report, there would not have been this verdict.
Okay.
Now, can you fade him out?
1 second. They are not
Can
going
you
to fade out.
This exposed Marxists.
These chaps don't fade out.
Because
They're in your face with their bile night after night. They're in the face of those communities that feel aggrieved. They'll pick at the seams of communal harmony, and then they will say that we are communists, we're leftists, we believe in a secular ethos. These are the individuals who play to the religious galleries, viewers. It's very clear tonight. You have evidence, it is coming out of the ground. It's almost as if Lord Ram is telling us that look, don't forget my contribution, don't forget my legacy, and don't forget me. I want to go across to Nalin Kohli. Nalin Kohli, this is always going to be one of those debates where people will shout over each other. Unfortunately, I can't control these people because they have come here with an agenda. But I want to ask you a question, and it's a straightforward question. And it's a question that I have been itching to ask of the BJP for a while. The question is, when are we going to see action being taken against some of these individuals that questioned contemptuously the judgment of the Supreme Court by attributing motives? That's the question. When will that happen?
I don't know when that will happen, but there is a public dismay building up against a small band of people who want tailor-made judgments. That means the Supreme Court is honest, the Supreme Court is efficient, it comes out with the right judgment, provided it suits them. It means they file a petition and they want only to see victory in it. But the Supreme Court of India is the Supreme Court of India and the highest constitutional court. Because essentially, it looks at the bigger picture and goes as per the statutes or laws, etc. It doesn't follow any individual's agenda. So those people are going to learn the hard way. The Supreme Court is not something that's going to be malleable by someone's desires to do something. The second part is about what Vivek was saying. May I?
Listen, Vivek Srivastava, stop barking over the other people
secularism.
now. Okay. Stop it.
So in terms of secularism, he said that, we have to have our secular ethos, etc. Of course, secularism as a concept is something that everyone cherishes. But pray may I ask Mr. Srivastava, when the word was missing in the original constitution and the preamble of the constitution which we inherited in 1950, at that time did it mean India was not secular? We didn't need a definition to make us secular. What has happened is this definition has led to much conflict, has led to much confusion.
And let me tell you,
everyone has their own version of secularism and everyone is fighting to say mine is the only version that works.
Yes, and
India
let me tell you,
for thousands of years a secular country much before.
Viewers,
we had this modern new approach of what is secularism.
this is all playing to a larger overarching game, and I want to bring in Ratan Sharda. Ratan Sharda, listen to what Atul Anjan said today. Even when the proof is now staring back at you in your face, he says, left calls Ram Temple site findings politically motivated. This is what he says. He says, alleges VHP discovery stage managed by BJP for Bihar and Bengal elections.
Absolutely.
So, a civilizational, no, one second. Something that points to a civilizational, one second, something that is so revelatory that it points to a civilizational absolute is today being linked to something as ephemeral as a passing election, one of thousands in this country over the last 70 years. Ratan Sharda, what will you say tonight? What will you say tonight?
Communists are the tyrants for ideology.
They close their eyes and there is no sun. And you talk of religion as an opium. Communist religion is the biggest totalitarian religion in the world, which is losing its hold on its followers. It took 11 crore lives to put in place something what they call as communism. And coming to the other issues, see the Marxist Islamist axis was first tested in the Ayodhya case. When the Islamist leaders rode on the shoulder, secular leaders rode on the shoulders of leftist historians and they negated every kind of proof, evidence that was produced. They laughed at it, ridiculed it, and when they were ridiculed in the High Court for the stupid stand and for, holding on to each other, show they were hollow. What he was seeing is only reiteration of what is happening. I would suggest let ASI come into the scene, test each and every evidence. The RSS is not as powerful to create a temple of 11th century under the mound. It is like they were saying the Ram temple was pushed under the mosque in about 500 years back. So this stupid argument must stop. The truth is staring in the face. By talking of evidence to support handing over the temple to Hindus, they opened a very dangerous gate. Since the evidence is in favor of Hindus, tomorrow if any Hindu says that I want every mosque which has been built on temple, what will happen then? If they had used the social harmony and handed over the Ram temple with goodwill, they would have seen to it that there is no hot temples, there is no violence, there is peace, and that would create a goodwill between Hindu and the Muslims.
Precisely.
They created evidence, and now tomorrow something goes against them, they will say this is again a hoax. So they are still not agreeing that okay, this was a mistake, we should not have dragged it too long, and they are unnecessarily creating this kind of scenario where they are exposed further, but this is against the social interests of the entire country.
Well,
and there is a book by Sitaram Goel where 2,000 mosques have been identified with Islamic evidence of having built 29 temples and destroyed till one Kovatala mosque in Delhi. Are they ready to hand it over? Are they ready to hand over Krishna and the Kashi temple because there is evidence? So evidence was the issue. It was a goodwill that Muslim society could have earned.
I think you're absolutely right. There is inbuilt hypocrisy where there is evidence that temples have existed and mosques have been built atop them, There has been never any offer by those that are controlling those mosques to hand back that land to Hindus. Here, evidence is there.
Muhammed censored every historian, Meenakshi Jain.
Absolutely, I'm not disputing that. I think that's a very good point that you have made. Now, 1 minute, Sharafuddin, please keep your voice low. I want to bring in Khalik Ahmed Khan, lawyer and nominee of the petitioner in the Ram Janam Bhoomi case, representing the Waqf board. And I want to bring you in on this, sir, because you seem to be an individual who has restrained himself from speaking above others. So I want to ask you a question. And I want to take you through certain sequences. In 76, 77, the excavation findings showed 12 pillars made from temple remains, Ashtmangala Chinnas, 8 auspicious symbols. But this was challenged by left historians. Romila Thapar, D.N. Jha, R.S. Sharma said there was still no proof that there was a temple there. The fact is, B.B. Lal, DG ASI, reiterated that he found Hindu symbols there. So the excavators themselves are telling you that there were remains of a temple. 76, 77. Mr. Srivastava, please. Just keep him shut. Keep him shut. He's not going to listen. He's not a gentle person. Terracotta human figurines. This was challenged by writ petition. Buddhist structure remains as per 1862 ASI report. This is what was said. The fact was, ASI said Buddhist linked to Saket, old name of Ayodhya. No conclusive proof that this Ayodhya is Saket. That is what was said, viewers. Statement by archaeologists. KK Muhammad says we found Vishnu temple relics, claims enough proof to return land to Hindus, but this was also challenged, and the case went on and on and on. Now I want to ask you, sir, was there an orchestrated conspiracy to bury the Hindu claim? And was it done with political complicity? Mr. Khan.
Before going to argument or conducting each other one by one, I was the person who was present at the time of excavation during 2000-2003. And before my eyes, Archaeological Survey of India has conducted the excavated site, the disputed site, on the order of the High Court, that the objective was that prior to the construction of the Babri Masjid, whether there was any temple, Hindu temple or any Ram temple. I have 2 volumes of Archaeological Survey of India, who has presented after completion of the excavation. They have not mentioned that there was any trace of any temple prior to the construction of the Babri Masjid. I have 2 volumes, original SI report, which has not confirmed that there was any temple, there was a trace of temple. Whatever was found, they were there a Buddhist structure.
Oh, Buddhist
still
structure.
They are found in the Buddhist structure.
Okay, so you're saying Buddhist structure, no sign of a temple. Now listen to this. You were there, you said. You were there when the ASI was excavating. Well, so was ex-ASI officer KK Muhammad. KK Muhammad was also there. Now listen to what KK Muhammad said. He said that there was conclusive proof of a Hindu temple, and let's play it out, viewers. Listen to KK Muhammad. This is the misinformation that we need to fight. For 130 years, the facts were buried. Politically compliant regimes came out there and deliberately, to try and appease one community for vote bank purposes, kept furthering that point of view, that there was no temple, till KK Muhammad stepped into the breach. Listen to him.
Earlier, on the basis of the excavation carried out by the Archaeological Survey of India, a temple of 10th century and another a very big temple of 12th century was excavated. But this goes below that one. So that means right from 8th century, we had the constructions also, we had the temple remains also.
So viewers, think about this. It's 2020 now.
Rahul, can I?
And we are going back to the 8th century and a temple stood there. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, yes.
Yeah, Rahul, this kind of Islamo-Bolshevik conspiracy has to be demolished once and for all. So can I please quote just the evidence that was accepted by the Supreme Court. I am quoting from the Supreme Court Ayodhya judgment. On a preponderance of probabilities, the archaeological findings on the nature of the underlying structure indicate to it to be of Hindu religious origin, dating to 12th century AD. B. The mosque in dispute was constructed upon the foundation of a pre-existing structure. The layered excavation at the site also has revealed the existence of a circular shrine together with a Makara Pranala indicative of Hindu worship dating back to the 8th or 10th century. The underlying structure which provided the foundations for the mosque together with its architectural features and recoveries are suggestive of a Hindu religious origin. Finally, the conclusion which has been drawn by the ASI that the nature of the underlying structure and the recoveries which have been made would on stylistic grounds suggest the existence of a temple structure dating back to the 12th century AD would on balance of probabilities be a conclusion which is supported by evidence, and we take this.
There you go.
And lastly, the 1891 ASI report was also cited by one of the Supreme Court judges, and it unequivocally stated that Mir Khan, I'm quoting, Mir Khan built a masjid on the Janam Sthanam during the reign of Babur, which still bears his name. The old temple must have been a very fine one, end quote. Ab bolo, communist comrade.
Maybe you're that old, I don't know.
Come on, Vivek Srivastava.
See,
These people have spent time.
Have not done this excavation. It is a conspiracy of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad.
It's a conspiracy.
To create a communal.
This is the message that will go out, viewers, amplified in the Muslim community, that the Hindus are once again at it. They are conspiring now to ensure that justice was not just done, but is also being seen to be done. Because they believe, no, 1 second, and this follows, 1 minute, this follows the same trajectory. You remember the JNU Walas? What were they saying? When Afzal Guru was hanged, they said it was a judicial execution. What did they say, viewers? It was a judicial execution. Today they are saying this is a judicial robbery of the Muslim community. See it? See the way the leftists are working? What are they doing here? They're sowing the seeds of alienation. The same seeds that tore this nation apart before 47. Is that what you're working towards? A second partition of our country? We will expose you. The truth will come out of the ground if necessary.